Let's do a roll call, please.
Johnson,
Present.
Wiper,
Here.
Markham,
Here.
I don't see Commissioner
I'm
Miller. Rahman,
Present.
Long. Here. Spiz is absent with notice. Woodward
Here.
and Smith Charles.
Thank you.
We have a quorum.
Wonderful. For the good and order, I guess I'll say is Woodward ex officio today?
Yes.
Thank you. Alrighty, that takes us right into our third item on the agenda, which is approval of the minutes. I'll entertain a motion to do so. Moved by Long, supported by Rahman. Was there any conversation or discussion on this? Corrections, additions? Seeing none, we can go ahead and. Is it a process for this? Right. Let's do a voice vote on it, and all those in favor with aye.
Aye.
Opposed by the same sign? Hearing no opposition, that motion carries. Takes us to our regular, approval of the agenda. If you like it.
I'll move it.
Moved by Woodward.
I like it.
Supported by Commissioner Johnson. Thank you so much, sir. If there's no discussion, let's go ahead and all in favor of approving the agenda with the side of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, agenda is approved. Do we have anyone here for public comment? It is our first of two. We ask that you speak to something on the agenda. You have 3 minutes. Is there anyone here for public comment? I don't see anyone, so I'm gonna go ahead and close public comment. Takes us to item 6 on said agenda, consent. We have 2 items. First is fiscal year 2024 appropriation with the city of Novi for Tri-Party Road Improvement Program project number 50631.
Yeah.
And
I'll move both of them.
thank you. Commissioner Wypert insists I read these titles.
Okay.
Next is fiscal year 2024 appropriation with the city of Wixom for Tri-Party Road
Lawyer,
Improvement
yeah.
Program, project number 50631 as well. It's been moved by Rahman and supported by Long.
My neighbors.
Discussion? Takeaways?
I
Mr.
just
Chair.
think that since Commissioner Rahman's taking all the road money, he's gotta buy dinner.
Oh, he already did.
Right.
Well, I will say on behalf of Novi and Wixom, it's a
Yeah.
very needed project.
Oh, yes.
So I am so excited to see this on our agenda, and I know both Novi and Wixom are very, very appreciative.
Thank you, sir. Seeing no other hands raised to discuss on this, let's go ahead and prompt the vote.
Are those beans? I love beans. I love beans. They're so good for you, for your liver.
Hit me in the morning with like a beet juice. Yes.
Okay, Markham,
Yes.
He said caution soft.
you have 7 yeas, 0 nays.
That motion carries. Thank you so much. Takes us to item 7 on the agenda, amendment to contract with Carasoft Technology for Qualtrics platform, and I'll accept a motion to recommend to board. Commissioner Johnson, supported by Commissioner Rahman. I believe I see Chairman Woodward, and again, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself when you get to the front.
So most heard this already, so I'm gonna abbreviate, but feel free to ask any questions. Trey Henson with Qualtrics. Qualtrics is a vendor we've been working with through the pandemic. Did an amazing job of data collection that I proved incredibly valuable about giving us information of where to deploy additional resources as we navigate through the pandemic. This is stemmed off what is a best practice to collect data, establish a benchmark of kind of where public sentiment is as a resident that doesn't use transit, but also be able to create a feedback loop for rider experience among the 5 different transit providers that we have across the county. So I know there's a lot of information that's already attached to this item, but I just for those who walked in and maybe didn't hear, Trey, give a kind of high overview. If you can just very briefly, you don't have to even go as long in depth because most people are here, but if there's questions, you can answer those as well.
Sure. I will try. brevity is not my strong suit.
I'll help.
My
Neither is
apologies to the transit committee.
Those, that's not a good combination
Terrible
down
combination down
down there at all.
It's okay, I'll help you.
Thank you. Yes, Trey Hansen, Qualtrics Enterprise Account Executive, have worked with Oakland County for a number of years now and have really enjoyed the relationship that we've had. These efforts are tailored and tied to the transit expansion efforts that Oakland County is pursuing and has pursued over the past couple of years through the millage. Effectively, what we're looking to do is create a continual stream of data insights around ridership experience and constituent sentiment tied to these efforts. That's the shortest version I can give. But I'm happy to get into much greater detail and to answer any questions that anyone has as well.
Because I came in late.
Alrighty, I guess we're at questions moment.
Really?
Let me start with Commissioner Long.
Okay, just because I only heard some of the presentation.
Sure.
On this, is it going to be on a phone app? Did you say that they could evaluate right after the ride? Did I hear that correctly when I was sitting in the sidelines? Is it like an
There
app
are-
on their phone they can put?
There are many, many ways that we can go about this. Now,
Okay.
we are not going to personally create an app for
Okay.
phones. The reason being, response rates generally tend to be significantly lower when individuals are requested or required to download an app on their phone.
Okay,
What we're looking to do is leverage other modalities to be able to capture that feedback in a similar way. QR codes, text codes, things like that on the go can be a much faster approach.
okay.
There are other ways that we can enable this as well that are baked into this proposal. There are things that I've done with TriMet, which is a regional transit authority in the Portland, Oregon area, or Sound Transit, Seattle, Washington. Those are clients that I've historically worked with. We work with dozens across the country. But one way that could be accommodated, similarly to the tablets that you have in front of you, we also enable individuals, should they choose to, have an app on their tablet and collect feedback on the buses, which is an approach that we could leverage through this proposal. There are many, 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 many things that we are capable of enabling that are effectively incorporated into
Okay,
this
and then
as
would
possible
the
leverage.
QR code be visible on the buses that they can just, so they'll know? Okay, thank you, that was my questions.
Thank you. Commissioner Markham.
Do we see a dashboard in our future?
So
for all of
our
this?
plan is there will actually be multiple. We're going to create effectively a master dashboard of ridership experience and constituent sentiment revolving community transit that's mostly going to be facilitated through Eli's office. However, one of the great capabilities that we have, if we drill into the data deeply enough, if we get really specific in the data collection efforts, we could also create commissioner-specific dashboards where you could see how the feedback captured from your constituents varies across the county. That's one of the greatest advantages of our platform too, is that we can help to distinguish and differentiate how different pockets feel about these efforts. And to Commissioner Woodward's point, we could benchmark that. So we can see what is the aggregated county scores, and then how do your respective districts vary in relation to that aggregate.
That's good.
I mean, one thing, Qualtrics is a international firm that claims as clients, I forget what the stat was, 47 of the 50th largest corporations in America.
Pretty much.
The world. Like something with a very high bar. I mean, we're talking state-of-the-art technology tools. For the member of the committee that didn't hear it at the transit committee, that we're amending an existing contract that we have. Qualtrics is working with our health department as well as some other entities and some that are coming online in the future. This $300 and some thousand annually will come from the transit millage to help support the transit aspect of this.
Excellent. Any other questions? Great. My only comment is that I've worked with companies who've worked with Qualtrics before, including Ipsos, which is one of the largest in terms of research out there. And you guys are always, or I should say Qualtrics has always been pretty stellar, and their methods are appropriate when seeking out statistical data. So really have no qualms with it. So with that, I will go ahead and prompt the vote.
Markham?
Yes.
Yeah, I watched it.
I have a witness. I know, I've got it here. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
You have 7 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you, that motion carries. And that takes us then to the second public comment. Is there anyone here who'd like to address this committee before we adjourn? Seeing no one moving towards the front of the room, is there any other business? Seeing none, this meeting of the Economic Development Infrastructure Committee is adjourned.